Social Security is about to celebrate its 90th anniversary. More than 69 million Americans are currently receiving Social Security benefits, among them nearly 53 million retired workers. Two-thirds of people recently polled by AARP say they rely substantially on Social Security for their income or expect to do so when they retire. So that's why it's so important to know what you're doing before you claim your benefits. Joining me right now with some insight is Regina McCann Hess, certified financial planner and founder of Forge Wealth Management in Malvern. So Regina, first of all, who's entitled to Social Security benefits?
Yeah, your workers who have worked 40 quarters or 10 years, they're the ones who are going to have access to those benefits. And that also means that their spouse could have a spousal benefit as well.
So now, and these are people that have paid into the system through the money that comes out of your paycheck? Right.
So they're employers. As they're working, every paycheck, they're pulling money and putting it into the Social Security system.
So how does it, how is my check each month determined? Like what factors play a role?
So your work history, how long you've worked, and then your average earnings over those years. So there's a whole calculation that goes into that. And then when you apply for your benefits, the Social Security Administration does a calculation to see what your benefit will be. But if you want to look at that strategy ahead of time, Social Security website is actually a great website to go check out. Their website's ssa.gov. And then you can put your information in, and they will estimate your benefits at age 62, 67, and 70. And it's pretty quick.
They really have good calculators on that website.
Yeah.
So this is the million-dollar question. When should people claim their benefits?
Yeah, well, your full retirement age is when you're supposed to claim your benefits. So if you're born between 1955 and 1960, your benefits are going to start anywhere from between age 66 and 67. If you're born after 1960, your benefits your full retirement age is 67.
Now, 67 full retirement age, but can you claim earlier?
Yes, however...
You paused there. You paused.
Not a good idea in my opinion.
Okay.
Because if you claim at 62, at age 62, your benefits are going to be reduced by 30%. And that 30% is a permanent decrease in your benefits for the rest of your life. So that is really going to affect and impact your retirement income stream over your lifetime. Now, there are one or two situations where you may want to consider taking it early at age 62, and that would be if you have a serious medical condition and not expected to live long, and also a serious family history of dying very young.
When people do take 62 or think about taking 62, what are the explanations they're giving for taking it early?
So I hear a lot of times, it's my money, I want to take it. And that's true, but if you wait till 67, it's still going to be your money, but it's going to be a bigger pot of money. So that's the biggest thing. And the bigger problem is that people don't know, they're not told, they're not educated on if you wait, you get more.
Okay. So obviously you don't want to take it early, but can you take it later on? Do I have to take it at 67?
Oh, no, you can actually wait till age 70, and there's a bonus for that.
Oh, I like bonuses.
Yeah. So if you wait, each year that you wait is an 8% increase. So you wait from, you don't turn it on at 67, you turn it on at 70, and that's an 8% increase per year for the rest of your life. So it goes that way, too.
Well, I know we've got a graphic here, so let's take a look at this. So say you're entitled, we're just throwing out some numbers here. Say your full retirement age of 67, you're entitled to $1,000 a month. If you were to take that early at age 62, that benefit would be reduced to $700 a month. That's $3,600 less each year for the rest of your life. If you were to delay taking it up until 70, it would go up to $1,240 a month. That's an extra $2,880 a year for the rest of your life. So here's the question for people that are thinking of taking 67 versus 62 versus 67. What's the break-even point? Because I'm getting paid for all those years.
Yeah. We think the break-even point's around 77 to 78.
Okay.
So if your family history is showing that your family is living 80s into 90s, you really want to consider that full retirement age or the age 70, not the 62.
So now we've talked about single people. With married folks, it gets a little more complicated?
Yeah, sometimes. So if you have a spouse who has earned the benefit and a spouse who either hasn't earned the benefit or has a lower benefit, the other spouse is entitled to a spousal benefit, which could be up to 50% of spouse one's benefit.
Okay, so the biggest consideration is who makes the most money in the relationship?
Right, right. So the one who makes more money, when I'm speaking to people about this, I always encourage them, if they can afford to, wait till they're age 70 to turn their benefit on, because their benefit obviously is going to increase with each year. And then that also has a double impact, because if they pass away, they have a survivor benefit, and their spouse, the remainder spouse, is actually going to be able to step up into their benefit at their death.
So with numbers wise, say one spouse is making $2,000 a month in Social Security, the other one makes $4,000 a month. If the $4,000 a month person passes away, the $2,000 person goes up to $4,000.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's important.
It's a huge strategy to protect your lower income spouse.
What about divorce? You know, a lot of people are divorced. Can someone file a claim based on their ex-spouse's record?
Yes, and here's the key thing to know about it is it doesn't impact that spouse's benefit at all.
So your ex isn't going to meet you in an alley somewhere and say, you just took my money.
I hope not. No, they're not. They're not supposed to. But they doesn't impact their benefit. It doesn't decrease their benefit at all. So you can apply as a spousal benefit to take, half of theirs if you don't have anything, or true up to 50% of theirs. Now there are a couple of rules to that.
Okay.
When you were married, you had to be married at least 10 years.
Okay.
And if you're under 60 and you're divorced, you have to wait for 2 years to turn on your benefit.
Okay.
And then unless they are taking their benefit, and then you can take your benefit at whatever age you can.
Okay. So there are some things, but at least 10 years marriage and you have to be divorced. Now, what about people like Liz Taylor? She was married a number of times. What do you do in a situation like, can you pick and choose which spouse you want to claim their benefit?
It depends.
Okay.
So a survivor benefit, definitely. So if you have a survivor benefit and you're married, you had 2 marriages, this is your second marriage, the first spouse passed away, and then the second spouse passed away, whoever's benefit is larger, you get to step into.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Another thing that people always question, can I collect Social Security benefits and still work?
Yes, but you do have to be careful. If you're taking that benefit before the full retirement age, and you have to make under a certain amount of dollars, or else they take part of that benefit back.
So if someone's working at age 62, collecting Social Security, there's a limit that you can make without them coming after you.
Yes, yes.
67, not the case?
Not the case. Once you turn 67, you can make as much money as you want, and Social Security is not going to take that benefit away.
Always great insights, as always. Thank you, Regina McCann Hess of Forge Wealth Management in Malvern. To hear more from Regina about the topic of Social Security, we could be going on for hours here. Be sure to check out her latest podcast, which drops today. Just search for Women and Wealth where you find all of your podcasts.